Hello, we're going to be making a crocheted heart today. It can be an ornament, it can be part of a decoration. You can turn it into all kinds of things, little pocket hug or bookmark, things like that. And all we're gonna need is a crochet hook, some yarn, and a pair of scissors. Depending on the size of yarn you choose, like this one's a bit of a thicker yarn from what I'm going to be working with. I'm going to be working with a thinner yarn. I think it's easier to see for demonstration purposes, but you can use a thicker yarn. Requires a bigger hook. For something like this, I would probably use something a bit larger, like this is a 7mm hook, a little bit larger than what I'm working with here is a 4.5mm. So that will determine the size of your heart as well. So thinner yarn, smaller hook, smaller outcome. So, all right. They're super cute, super easy. We've got the directions here, and if you don't know how to read crochet terminology, annotations, and I'll tell you as we go because it's been a learning process for me also. So you're gonna need yarn, crochet hook, and a pair of scissors. That's all you need. So this one starts with what's called a magic circle. So we're gonna crochet into a circle, and when we're done, we're gonna pull that string and it closes that circle in the middle. So this one didn't get closed all the way. This yarn, you can tell this is one of my starter ones, so some of my stitches weren't even, but that's okay, it's still cute. But you pull that string in the middle and it closes that circle. So it's much easier to stitch in while it's large, and then at the end you just cinch it up. So to make a magic circle, sometimes they call it a magic ring, one finger, sometimes I work on my pointer finger, sometimes I work on my middle finger. Today I'm gonna use my middle finger because I'm using my pointer finger to pinch. So I'm going to take it, I'm gonna come from the bottom, come up, and I'm gonna wrap around it twice, and it's just hanging down. So around my finger twice, okay? And then I'm gonna take this crochet hook and I'm gonna go under the first two, catch the back one, which is connected to my skein of yarn, and pull it all the way through. So when I do, I'm gonna twist and come up with it, okay? So this is now the magic circle that I've made. I'm gonna slide down on my finger a little bit so I can hold it. So I've got it just like that. So I'm gonna do it one more time so you can see. So take the string up, the yarn up, go over, 1, 2, 3. Go under the first two, grab the back one, pull it through, and then as I come out, I'm gonna twist, turn, and come up, okay? So I'm gonna wiggle it down a little bit so I can hold it with my thumb. From here, I'm gonna do what says chain 2. So that's basically just getting my tail right here, and I'm gonna hook it, if I can get it. I use that hook to come across to keep it safe. 1, and then I do it again. Catch it, come through that loop again, 2. That's a simple crochet chain. I'm gonna back up. You can stay right where you're at, but I'm gonna show you one more time. But I gotta go all the way back. So my magic ring, my magic circle, under the first two, grab the back one, come through, twist, up, wiggle it down, okay? So now I'm gonna grab that one, the tail, pull it through that loop I made, 1, 2. So that's chaining 2. You know, these other stitches are triple crochet, double crochet, chaining. And so it basically is gonna do a couple of stitches and then it's gonna reverse and do the same stitches in reverse. So I did my chain 2, so now I'm gonna do what's called a triple crochet. So I've got 1 loop on my hook already. I need 2 more for 3. That's what a triple crochet is. So I'm gonna have it come around once, have it come around twice. So now I have 3 on my hook. So I'm gonna go into my magic circle and pull the string from behind up through it. So now I've got 4 on my hook. can see. I'm gonna come pick up the tail to go through them, and I'm gonna do them 2 at a time. So the first 2, I'm gonna offload. Now I've got 3. Pick up a new one. Unload the next 2. Sometimes I have to wiggle it a little bit. Now I've got 2. Pick it up one more time and go through it again. So now I'm left with the 1 loop. That's a triple crochet. So we're gonna do that 3 times. So 2 more times. So get my hook loaded. It's gotta have 3 on there to begin with. So I got 3 on there now. I'm gonna go through the magic circle from the front to the behind, grab the yarn, pull it through. Okay, so now I have 4 on there. Grab my tail and I'm gonna take off 2. 1, 2, grab my tail, take off 2 more. 1, 2, sometimes I have to help with my fingers. And then grab the tail, unload the last 2. 1, 2. That's a triple crochet again, and I got 1 more because I've done 2 and I need 1 more. So load my crochet hook, 1, 2, into the magic circle, grab it from behind, come through. I got 4 on there. Offload 2, 1, 2, offload another 2, 1, 2, offload the last 2. That's a triple, and that's one of the hardest ones in my opinion. They get easier. You've done the hard part. Okay, so my pattern says a triple crochet. Now it says 3 double crochets. So a double crochet, I start with 2 on my hook instead of 3. So I'm gonna swing it around once, okay? And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go back through the magic circle, pick up my tail, come through, and then grab the tail, offload 2, offload another 2. 3 double crochets, so same thing. Swing it around, I got 2 on my hook, go through the magic circle, come from behind, 2, 2. That's 2, I only need 1 more. Load my hook, through the circle, bring it through, offload 2, and 2, because it does it 2 times. Okay, so that's my 3 double crochets. Now it's saying chain 1 and then do another triple, and then we're gonna do it in reverse. So I'm gonna chain 1, so I don't go through the magic circle on this one, I just pick up the tail and I go through my chain. That's 1. And it says another triple crochet, so get 3 on your hook, through the magic circle, bring the tail through, offload 2, offload 2, whoops, I got 3, I gotta back up, and then offload 2. I have to pause for a second, I've got a knot coming my way. The good thing with yarn, if you don't pull tight, you can usually unravel any of the knots. All right, so now the same thing in reverse. That's half of my heart. So what happened right before this one was I chained 1. So my pattern, here's where I'm at, a triple. So I'm gonna chain 1 and then do 3 doubles, 3 triples, and chain 2. That's where I started. So chain 1. Okay. Now it says 3 doubles, so go around my hook 1 time, get 2 strings on there, through the circle, bring it through, offload 2, offload another 2. Come around again for another double, offload 2, offload another 2, I need 1 more. Around my hook, through the magic circle, offload 2.
I heard you had touch.
Okay, so I've done the 3 doubles, so now it's time for 3 more triples, and then we'll chain 2. No, I almost finished my double. Now I've done my 3 doubles. Okay. So for a triple, you go around twice, get 3 around your hook, through the magic circle, bring it through, offload 2, offload 2, and I'm going to go through. Sometimes when that happens, the hook has split a strand, and there we go. And then offload 2. So if your magic circle starts getting close to the end, just slide them. So I just kind of pulled that through a little bit, slide them down so I've got more room. So 2 more triples. Through the circle. Offload 2. Offload 2. Offload 2. 1 more triple. Offload 2, offload 2, offload the last 2. That's my 3 triples. Now my pattern says to chain 2, and then this means slip stitch into the circle. So I'll show you that one. So we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. So a slip stitch into the circle. So I'm going to go through my circle, pull this through, and just immediately drag it through. It's like chaining, but slightly different. So that hooks me all the way back into my circle. And then my last thing says chain 1, cut it, and pull my string. So chain 1. So I'm gonna drag it out a little bit, just so it doesn't start to unravel while I get my scissors. Doesn't matter how long you want your tail, so cut it, and then finish pulling it through your loop. This will help tighten the ends just a little bit. So before we get to that, we're going to get our original tail and pull it to close that magic circle. If you've got delicate yarn, sometimes it'll break, so pull carefully. I put my thumb over where I'm pulling just to kind of help hold those, so I can kind of tug, and I can also feel where it's at. So, all right, I think I've got it. Straighten this out just a little bit. And that's my little heart. So on the back side, I can take my 2 pieces and I can string them together, you know, to make a hanging type of ornament. I can make them connect to other hearts. I can tie them in a knot and cut them loose, you know, whatever you want to do. So I am going to take mine and tie them in a knot. I just want to be sure it's not going to come unraveled. And then I think I'm going to cut mine free because I may decide I want to do something else with it later. So some people recommend, you know, cutting it where you've got some tail left, and then they'll use like a tapestry needle or a hook to just kind of grab it under one of these stitches and pull it through to hide it. I'm not real worried about that, so I'm going to cut mine shorter. But weaving them in is probably the more professional way, but I'm all for shortcuts. And then you just kind of have to wiggle it around a little bit to get it the shape that you want. If you want it to stay in place and stiff, they make this spray fabric stiffener that you can buy and spray it on there and let it dry, and it will, it's kind of like starch for it. It will help it hold its position. Otherwise, you're done.